Hi everyone, Dylan here from the Fergus team. In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure settings relating to invoicing. Open up Settings in Fergus, and then on the left hand side, select Invoicing. Starting from the top, we have some general options. The first option is to set your default payment terms. Using the drop-down list, you can choose from one of the options available, and this will be set for all invoices where the customer doesn't have unique payment terms. Below this is the tax calculation method. This is where you can choose how your tax is calculated by either subtotal or line by line. Please note that Xero uses line by line calculation methods, so if you choose to calculate on the subtotal while using Xero, you may see slight differences in the tax totals. The last drop-down menu here is for default font size. Here you can choose what size you want your invoices to display at. Further down, there are a number of checkboxes that you can utilize. The first of these is whether you want your employees' names to be shown on the invoice next to the labor items. Next, you can choose if you want the descriptions your employees have entered regarding their labor to be displayed on the invoice. Below this, you can choose if Fergus splits materials and labor into separate sections when pulling costs onto the invoice. The last checkbox gives you the option to attach a PDF copy of the invoice to your emails while you use a feature called Fergus Pay. Fergus Pay allows your customers to view and pay invoices online using a credit or debit card. The next section of invoicing settings relates to formatting. There are a number of checkboxes here as well for you to get invoices looking the way you would like. The first section is for custom sections. This is where you have manually written out the section for the invoice. You can choose to show line item quantities, show line item prices, show line item totals, show section totals, and lastly, show line items. Moving on, we have imported labor section formatting options. This is when you create or import sections to an invoice from a quote or estimate, or import site visits. You have the same options as above in regard to the display of line items. The last section here is for imported material section formatting options. This is in relation to the material side of things when importing materials from a quote or estimate, or importing a site visit to an invoice, again with the same display options. Below this, you can choose your invoice orientation to be either landscape or portrait. Further down, you have the default description text. This pulls through to the description on your invoices before the line items. Fergus will populate this with some default text, but you can customize this to get the right messaging here. Don't forget to save this. The last section here is the default footer text. Again, Fergus has populated this with some text, but you can change this to suit your company. Taking the time to set up your invoicing settings allows you to have control over your layout and messaging, helping you save time and be consistent. Thanks for taking the time to watch our video. If you have any questions, please get in touch via support@fergus.com.